So today I'm here to talk about how AI can make even education affordable for the underprivileged. So right now there is an ongoing debate as to how AI is going to disrupt the traditional landscape of education as we know it. And there have been many publishers. You can read about it, all about it. So many people say that people are using it to cheat, right? And that is of course true. And so people are saying for it, people are saying against it, and at the end it leaves us, the teachers and the students even, in a dilemma. Whether to be the early adopters of this technology or not. So this makes us stand in front of a blue pill or a red pill situation. So if you guys are not aware of movie matrix, if you take the red pill, you are embracing a new technology, or intellect, new idea, which is going to totally change your life. And if you take the blue pill, your life is just going to be money or same as this. Right? So let me share with you what actually helped me embrace the change of technology and to embrace AI into the education field. So one day I was on the ground doing my research, visiting students, and these students were quite actively involved in digital learning. So I went on to his home and think by this kid named Raman and his parents. Now, Raman's father was a famous wage worker and his mother was a homemaker. Now, Raman was holding a cell phone in his hand, and this cell phone was probably the most expensive thing in their household, highlighting the below average quality of life. As I started to learn more about it, it was quite evident that Raman's parents could not financially support him in his education endeavors. And Raman, being the bright kid as he was scouring the internet for whatever free resources he can get from it. But he was still afraid. Though he's topper, he is a 97% scorer in his school exams. But he was afraid of one thing. He is going to appear in a national level competitive exam for the first time. And all the students from outside the school are going to present over there. Right? And this fear is justified, right? Once you have been studying inside your school and then you decide to go and appear for a national level exam for the first time, it's justified. So I shared my number with him and I told him that if you have any kind of academic doubts or any doubts related to any kind of competitive exam, you can give me a call. Right? And I'll help you out with that. So for 2 straight years, he called me at least once a week, right, to ask various topics around academics, sometimes math problems, physics problems. And I loved helping him because I could see his knowledge curve grow exponentially. And it was at that time when I realized that, hey, 1:1 mentoring has a different kind of impact as compared to a group teaching. It can be any kind of group teaching. We are looking about 1:30 student teacher ratio, we are looking about between 1:50. Right? So just to give you the idea in numbers as to what 1:1 impact has when the student is being taught, there was a research published by Mr. Benjamin Glow in 1984, and he stated a 2 sigma problem. Now, sigma being just a symbol of standard deviation, and of course, you can see the complex bell curves in the graphs. I'm not going to explain this. I'm going to come to the conclusion. He said that if you pick up an average kid, if you give them a private tutor, there are high chances of them becoming a topper. At least they will outperform 97% of the class. That's the power of one that Mr. Benjamin told about. But of course, he stated this as a problem in 1984 because only if there was a way to provide an individual teacher, a private teacher, to every single kid on this planet. Of course, the problem was not addressable at that time. Right? Not just this problem. If we talk about in India, with the developing countries, there is another problem. 76% of the families in India can't even afford to send their kids to a good private school. Right? And even these private schools have a student teacher ratio of 50:1. I mean, imagine being able to send your kid to this private school, and there's a teacher who is teaching, doesn't actually personally know your kid. They are not able to address the knowledge gap that exists in any of the student individually. Forget about preparing and personalizing the test for the student. Forget about explaining the topic relevant to them, right? According to their comprehending ability. It is just impossible even for them. So this leads us to the question: if AI happens to be a good one-to-one mentor, shall be adopted in the field of education? So keeping that in mind, I started training in AI 4 months back. The results were astounding. So after giving the personality to behave like a teacher and a mentor to the kid, it was able to explain the concept of quantum computing to 5-year-olds, right? And taking an example of magic box, I mean that is just beautiful. It was even able to replicate the formulas in the latest sentence. The formulas as you see in the book, as you can see in the screen one. Now, we know that of course, if we give AI in the hand of the kids, they're going to play around with it, right? So, we gave it to the kids and we asked them to ask certain kind of questions. And the kids were very curious, and one of them told that I have a day tomorrow. Okay? So the AI brought the kids back to the track. That hey, I'm an academic mentor. Though it had the knowledge to answer that particular question, it could have told the kid, yeah, you should respond, you should be more indulgent in the conversation. It decided not to, because it decided to follow the personality of the instructor as opposed to program to behave like. And it just put that kid straight back in the path. That hey, if you have any kind of vocabulary doubts, come back to me and I'm going to address that. However, questions related to mental health didn't go unanswered. So we even asked it that hey, maybe I'm going through a depression, or maybe I'm feeling lonely. So it was very empathetic and it asked us to just go to the people we trust, go to the people we love, and even seek a professional and maybe a mental health therapist. It has that kind of empathy to even guide students. Now, don't just listen to me. There have been data all around which shows, and this is research done by top academic universities, and it broadly shows that all the students who were using AI-enabled software, they somehow outperformed the rest of the class. Not just this, UNESCO has a 2030 agenda, and this agenda revolves around inducing the AI into the education field to help the underprivileged doctors of third world or fourth world countries to help them study a disease in a very precise manner and even operate remotely. So I got in touch with the chair of UNESCO for AI, and she was kind enough to address you yesterday and share a short video on the upcomings what UNESCO is even planning to do with world using the power of AI. So let us hear from Mr. Green.
Hello, everyone. My name is Katerina Moreira, and I have the privilege of serving as the UNESCO co-chair on artificial intelligence and extended reality. Imagine a world where education and innovation know no bounds. A world where technology bridges gaps, fosters equality, and shapes sustainable futures. That's the promise of artificial intelligence and extended reality. Through the UNESCO Chair on AI and XR, we are not just adapting to change, we are driving it. We are championing diversity and reinventing education through artificial intelligence and extended reality. Leveraging on the power of virtual reality combined with artificial intelligence, we are democratizing access to expert knowledge. Through an immersive environment, an experienced doctor in a developed nation can guide a young practitioner in an underdeveloped region. Together, they can analyze, diagnose, and make decisions, fostering UNESCO's goal of north to south, east to west cooperation. There is no need for travel since the collaboration can be remote and consequently it can reduce our carbon footprint. Ultimately, our UNESCO chair is pioneering technologies in AI and XR to redefine education and to foster a more cohesive and cooperative future. Thank you.
Alright, let's come back to India now because we have different problem to address as well. If I talk about, and this data is not going to come as a surprise to you. If I talk about a personal tutor, it comes with a cost of around $400 to $1,500 per hour, regardless of which subject they are teaching. And they come with a limited knowledge of a particular subject. That's fine. So, if I compare it to the cost of AI, it costs 5 rupees per hour. And that is even less than a cup of tea. Is that interesting? Now, just for a little bit of humor and with the data, AI doesn't do stuff in classroom, right? And it certainly doesn't mind explaining algebra for the 100th of the time. It is that the ILS, the patient teacher, we all desired in our schooling days, and it is here to stay. And certainly, it is not here to just cut off jobs. It is just here to serve you as a co-pilot for both the teachers and for both the students. And I'll leave you with this. So let us celebrate the fact that AI is not just changing the education for the underprivileged. It is impacting the very fabric of our society. And as we move forward, let us remember that the true power of AI doesn't just lie in its algorithms. It lies in the boundless potential it can open within a kid, no matter from what socio-economic background